Hey, how's it going? I'm Melisa, the girl in the foreign land, helping you out, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, I know, but I'm back and I'm trying to be more consistent, but I promise it's getting better. So today's video is we're talking about scholarships. Now, I made a little poll in my community tab asking you guys what kind of scholarship video you would like, whether it's focusing more on Switzerland, Germany, or scholarships in general. And the one that people wanted the most was focusing on the ones in Switzerland, but that doesn't mean that I will not also cater to the ones that want just scholarships in Germany. So today we'll do Switzerland, and then we'll do Germany, and then we'll do Europe in general, scholarships in general. So yeah, let's get started. So just for the sake of this video, I'm going to be focusing on one specific scholarship, but then at the end of the video I'll mention just like a few other scholarships, because I thought it might be better if we focus on more specifics than I just say in general scholarships, and then you have more questions. So I thought we focus on just specific scholarships, and then if you have questions about any other ones, let me know in the comments. You guys know I always reply, because I know the struggle is real. So the scholarship we're talking about is called the Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship. Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship. That's the one we're going to be discussing today. So I'm just going to tell you a few general things about this scholarship, and then we're going to go more in depth about it. Now, this scholarship is actually fully funded for international students. However, it only covers when you want to study like a master's or a postdoctorate degree, and so masters and postgraduate degrees, PhDs, etc. But unfortunately, no diplomas or bachelor's degree for this scholarship. So I will be looking down because all my notes are here. So just bear with me. So this scholarship covers a few things like exemption of tuition, like monthly payments, insurance, some housing, etc. But we will get more in depth about that. And this scholarship is available for anyone in any nationality. Of course, for the different nationalities, there will be like specific things. I will put the link in the description box where you can just go click your country and see what's more specific to your country. But it is open to all nationalities. And as I said, it's just minimum is just like a master's. Then you can do a master's, your PhD, or your postdoctorate with the scholarship, but not undergraduate diploma or bachelor's or anything like that. So we're going to cover three things. What does this scholarship cover? What are the requirements for the scholarship? And how do you apply? So coverage. So this scholarship covers like a monthly payment of about 1,900, 2,000 Swiss francs per month. Obviously it might change here and there, but that's about roughly what the scholarship payments will. Now, if you're a non-EU member or non-EFTA guarantees, then it will also cover your health insurance. But of course, if you're an EU national, then it might not really cover your health insurance because you probably already have it. But yeah, so non-EU people, your health insurance will be most likely covered. However, there are no family allowances with the scholarship, and so it will just be covering the person that is under the scholarship. Another thing you also get, only if you're a non-EU or non-EFTA countries, you will also receive allowance for your flight tickets, coming and return ticket to your country of origin when your scholarship ends. So I think that is also kind of like a really good bonus. Another thing you would get is a special housing allowance of I think about 300 to 500 around there, which you will receive at the beginning of your scholarship. I think which is really great because housing can be a bit pricey and a bit hard to find. If you need any help finding any specific housing, if they don't provide you, feel free to check out one of my videos on housing and cost of living in Switzerland, as well as you can just email the person providing you the scholarship, whoever you're in contact with, and they will definitely help you out. Another thing you get is a half fare transport card. I had one when I was in Switzerland, and this is basically so for example, a one-way ticket is like €4.20, but if you have a half fare card, then obviously a full price ticket is about €8 something. So if you have a half fare, then you pay €4. So it's basically whatever transport ticket you want to buy, train, bus, boat, ferry, everything, you always pay half the price of that transport card. So that's a really good thing to have. Another really cool thing, if you're part of the Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship, is they arrange for you to actually go on some tours and sightseeing, so that you don't feel like you're just here just for the education, you know, just for school, but you also have a chance to really get into the Swiss culture and get really immersed into it and to learn about the country that you're staying in. So that's cool. I like that. And as I said before, for specific country benefits, just check out the link in the description box, which will take you directly to the link where you can just search for your country and see exactly what specific things apply for you. Moving on to the second part, which is requirements. Let's start. The first thing is most required language would be English. You won't necessarily have to know like German or French or Italian or whatever, but obviously it might be a bit benefit since you're living in the country, but it's not compulsory for you to know the language that's spoken within whatever canton you'll be staying in. So the next requirement, as I said, you need to have minimum a master's degree and make sure that it is recognized. Now this part is a bit lengthy, so I'm just going to read it. A master's degree or equivalent university degree, and it needs to be recognized by the Swiss university. As proof, the degree has to be submitted to the Federal Commission for Scholarships before the start of the scholarships. This is just basically, yes, it's open to all countries internationally, but this is just basically to be able to weed out who's submitting a fake degree and who's not, just so they can make sure that your degree is from an actual university and you didn't just Google a certificate and then print it out and say, here, this is my master's degree. So it's just like a formality, so just to make sure that all your papers are in order and everything is fine. The next requirement is if you are already an applicant before and then you apply exactly to continue the next joining year, then you cannot do that. You can't have been a scholarship person and then reapply just to keep on doing more scholarship education. They probably won't allow you to. The next thing is whatever university that you'll be going to, you need to provide a CV from a professor from that university that's willing to supervise you through the scholarship. So basically, for example, if this is the university you're going to be doing your studies at for the scholarship, you need a professor or a lecturer from that university that's saying, yes, I'm willing to supervise and to just kind of be the helping hand, mentor for this student applying for the scholarship. And you need a letter from that lecturer or teacher as well as their CV. Without really a lecturer or a supporter or supervisor, your application might not be accepted. And it's pretty easy. You just need to email the school or the specific professor you might already have in mind and just say, hey, I'm thinking about applying for this scholarship. Would you be willing to be my supervisor? And then if they say yes, they write a letter agreeing it, stamp, sign, whatever, as well as his or her CV. Now, this next requirement is super important, so I'm not even going to try paraphrase it. I'm going to read it as it is. It says, applicants must have research proposal, including a time frame. This is a centerpiece for the application, and the applicant must devote all required attention to it. Yeah, so it's basically like the master motivational letter, if you want to put it like that. And this one, I said it before, applicants need to be in command of whatever subject. So you can't apply for the university, let's say in Zurich, that teaches strictly in German and then not know any German. I would really advise that you make an attempt to learn the language that you're going to be taught in. That should be just direct. Obviously, if your university then teaches in English and English is what you speak, then that's good for you, but it's just another thing to keep in mind. And lastly, of course, if you're applying for the scholarship, you need to be able to be ready to move to Switzerland for the period of the scholarship. So it most likely won't be an online thing. So moving on to how you actually apply for the scholarship and in terms of what documents you actually need. Let's go. First thing you need is the application form. You need to fill it out and you need to sign it. that should be obvious. Next thing you need is your CV with, of course, a list of any academic awards or anything that you might feel is relevant in order to get you like a better shot for the scholarship. You also need a motivational letter, but a maximum of about 2 pages. So don't write these people a freaking essay, you know, just keep it like 2 pages maximum. Mine was 1 page, not for the scholarship. My university was 1 page. But yeah, don't go overboard. The next thing you need is a complete research proposal with about a maximum of 5 pages or so, and you need to sign it to show proof that it's actually you that wrote it. And you need to use the layout of the FCS proposal layout. I will put a link in the description box for you to have a look at that as well. The other thing we already talked about is a copy of the university lecturer that's saying, yes, I'm willing to supervise, with his or her CV. Another thing you need is letters of recommendations using, again, FCS layout. It's on the description box. Like, don't worry, it's in the description box. I wouldn't just say this and then leave you hanging. No. But yeah, you need to have letters of recommendations from at least 2 professors, but they need to be within the field that you're hoping to study. The next thing you need is the copies of your most recent transcripts or graduation certificates, or whatever you want to call them, starting from the most recent, and then you can go back as far as you want. And they need, so if they're not in English, if they're not in German, if they're not in French, or if they're not in Italian, you need to make sure that you get them properly and certified, translated into English. And please do not submit any original certificates or documents. Just make sure they're like really good copies. And as I said before, if they're not in English, German, French, or Italian, make sure that you get them properly certified and translated. The next thing you need is the signed medical certificate, and this again, you need to use the FCS certified health insurance form. It's just basically fill it out and sign it. Honestly, all these things, all these documents you need to sign and fill. When you apply, there will always be a link to them, so you're not just like, where do I find this? Where do I find this? It's gonna be there. And the last thing you need is a 2 copies of your passport. If you have dual citizenship, so 2 passports, you'd need copies of both passports. However, if you're already in Switzerland when you apply for this, you'd need the copy of your passport and a copy of your residence permit in Switzerland. And this is very important when you apply and send all these. Do not put the documents into any binders or folders. So basically don't like puncture them to put them in a folder and hand them, like, don't do that, do not. Okay, and that is basically a bit about what this Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship is about. It can be in any field you want. It's just a matter of going on the website and applying for it, looking through and making sure you really understand what's required and what is really like the scope of this scholarship. As I said before, another very, very important thing is just a minimum. You'd need to have a master's degree, and then you want to go forth and probably do like your PhD or your postdoctoral or whatever you'd like. And yeah, that is the Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, just other scholarships, there's just like actually quite a lot. So again, in the description box, I will put a link where you can just kind of look through the different scholarships, click on them, read the information. And if you're not really sure about something, about how to apply or anything, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I might not always know all the answers, but I will try to do my best with research and just be able to give you guys the best possible information as possible, if that makes sense. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. Guys, I really hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, any suggestions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.